A good conversation can shift the direction of change forever. Would you leave it to chance? Join the authors of Design to Change and explore this series of conversations with designers and event owners. Driven by the need and conversations with event owners and event designers who use the event canvas around the world, this series explores the depths of conversations to elevate your abilities to look and act beyond the now. Episodes are hosted by Ruud, Janssen, Roel Frissen, Dennis Lehrer and Paul Rukens, with illustrious changemakers, designers and pioneers in the field of design and beyond. To explore these conversations and additional content, visit designtochange.online. For now, let's start the conversation. Conversations.
All right, welcome back. We are here in Melbourne, Australia, sitting around the round table, together with two good friends and colleagues that we've been working with for quite some time now. My name is Ruud Janssen. I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm Roel Frissen, I'm co-host.
And around the table today we have Genevieve Lim and Weemin Ong, two dear friends from the team at Marina Bay Sands, who have been on a mission to bring event design and so much more across the globe to your clients. Now, before we dig into that conversation, we'd like to ask you the question that was proposed in the introduction by our colleague Anthony. A good conversation can determine the direction of change forever. Would you leave it to chance, Genevieve?
I would say yes and no, because conversation can bring us to all directions, right? And it depends on the flow of it and where it brings us. I would say I would leave it to chance to some extent, because I believe in flow. Like, it should go with the flow. It should go with what the chemistry brings you and what's next.
Yeah, thank you. Weemin, how about you? Would you leave it to chance?
Yes and no as well. The events industry is made up of serendipitous conversations, and that is what makes the event industry special. However, no. Why? Because the context where we all meet should be designed with a clearly defined outcome, so that we can draw out, so that we can lead to desirable outcomes for all our delegates.
Yeah. Cool. The conversation that you initially had, I remember, 3 years back?
3 years back, when Jen visited us in Frankfurt in our booth.
At IMEX?
At IMEX.
The trade show, yeah.
And I often went back to that conversation, like, how did it start? What is it already predetermined, or was that something you spotted? I'm still curious how that all played in your head, right? So, and how that all came to play. But let's ask the question, and now that's a good time to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. It's been 3 years already, huh?
It has. 2022 IMEX, I think it was. Yeah.
Yes, it's funny how, because just over lunch, I was just discussing this with one of our attendees about how this all started, and that what we really wanted to do from the onset when we first saw you guys at IMEX Frankfurt was really to bring on the table something different for our clients and really something different for the events community. So 3 years down the road, with so many people that we have impacted, I think that end vision hasn't changed in terms of wanting to bring relevant content and solutions to help our clients be successful in the world of events and events design. So I think that was the guiding principle, and a lot of it is deeply rooted into having deep listening projects and deep listening conversations with clients to hear about what's keeping them awake at night and what would bring that impact to their work. Yeah. And today has been especially meaningful because, I've got a chance to speak to a very old client of ours that has been with the Marina Bay Sands for more than 15 years in terms of their program, when it first started with us. She was super appreciative of this session, and she said how this would be super relevant because there is a change in her management and change in the team that's looking at global events, and how this whole session of events design would be very timely and apt for her to really be able to impress her internal stakeholders and also bring about a different perspective to her own internal stakeholders that are looking at outcomes of events, or sometimes, in her own loose words, take things for granted a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, when you are running this as a profession for a very long time, or this could be an event owner that has been, having ownership of this event that has been very successful for a long time, you may not stop, smell the roses, or stop, take pause and take stock about what's next.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What I think is interesting also for the people who are listening to this, what we have done, and over the past few days, we have actually, let's talk about the last few months. We have been together training with Marina Bay Sands in different geographies. Like we were in Beijing and in Shanghai, we were in London, and we were in Singapore last Monday, and then today in Melbourne. And of course, that's part of a larger schedule of events where we work together. But I think it's interesting to explain. I think for the listeners, why are you doing this? And you already hinted on that, but also what it enables you to do and what kind of conversations come out of that on the other end. Maybe one of you guys.
What you're not seeing is that the deep thinking is happening, the deep listening is happening at the same time.
Well, I think when we first embark on this journey together, the overall intention was to elevate the entire industry collectively as one event, one design, one at a time. And over the last 3 years, I think the journey has been really, really exciting. It has brought us to many places, not only to Singapore where we first started, but to London. We've been to London 3 times, to Sydney a couple of times, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Frankfurt, Beijing,
Washington D.C., Zurich, I think we did, yeah.
And Melbourne.
Yeah.
And it is very, very heartening to see event professionals, our peers and our colleagues that are based in these cities embrace the event design methodology and having thought process in making their events meaningful by adopting the methodology and drive desirable outcomes for the attendees and the delegates. That to me was the most important takeaway, and that pointed right back to the very reason why we did it. Rising tides lift all boats. And it is important for us to continue to do it. It's an exciting journey, it's a meaningful journey. One event, one design, one at a time.
Nice. Yeah.
Rising tides rise
Together.
all the boats together, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a very powerful mechanism. Now, one thing that I remember at first when we started this collaboration that you were adamant about is to make sure that your own team, right? And Marina Bay Sands is a large organization, if you're not familiar with it, in Singapore, a large convention center, large hotel complex at the highest level of operation. And I remember, Weemin, you were saying that it's really important for us to continuously raise the bar, right? At the most recent showcase event, the autumn showcase event last Monday, the theme was Elevate, right? Where both your partners and your team members together design an event to get 500 clients to experience what it's like, what Elevate looks like from Marina Bay Sands. Now, elevation starts with the capacity of your own team to be able to be versed in this language, to be able to facilitate the client conversation in a different way. And today at the training, 2 of the team members, Sharon Lam and Winnie, together were actually facilitating a part of the training, which is the critical part of the training, of actually taking the group through the event design process. What do you think this has brought the team? Looking back at, I think we have nearly 100 people that have gone through the level EDC level 3 training, became certified event designers. What has it brought the team in terms of confidence, conversation, or what has it not brought them, what you might have expected, looking at it from 2 sides?
I think when we first embarked on a journey to put the first cohort through of 30, and then in due course 3 other cohorts, collectively nearly 100 of team members, through the event design level 3 course, it was made with the intention to arm them with the knowledge and the confidence to engage our clients in the conversations of the future.
Yeah.
And if you go back to that very intention, it has definitely armed our team members with the knowledge and the confidence to do that. And today, with Sharon and Winnie being co-facilitators alongside the both of you, bore testament to that.
Yeah.
In fact, they were not too confident doing it because they are beside the two maestros, the two of you, and they felt inadequate. But having gone through the co-facilitation together with you, it filled them with confidence and said they would do it. And it's a journey that we undertake collectively as event designers, as certified event designers. It's a journey that we undertake collectively with each and every single one of our clients that we put through this course. So we bring the course to 25 meeting professionals here in Melbourne. It is a journey that we undertake with them, Sharon and Winnie and the both of you and us. Yeah. If we bring it to Sydney, it is the same thing. It's the journey that whoever is co-facilitating with you, we undertake with the 25 or 30 attendees that we have in each city. And each journey, again, is unique. Yeah. Again, as I said, one event, one design, one journey, one at a time.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And what I learned from it is that we in the first 2 years when we did all these local roadshows, right? So across the globe, Ruud and I delivered training and delivered everything. And what I appreciated from your side is that you said, like, we have to involve people from our side as well. We trained our staff. That is one thing. But if you they say do good and tell, right? That's one of the things you could live by in terms of if nobody knows that you all been trained and you cannot showcase this, why bother, right? So of course it will also give people more depth in the conversation and listening skills, as you said, Jen, to have that conversation with the clients. But I think showcasing that and showing that you are deeply interested, not in the client only, but also in the client of the client, right? The stakeholders. I think that is crucial in what you do, but also how you do business. I think maybe Jen, you can talk about it a little bit more about, like, what is the thinking behind that? How do you? Because we talked about raising the bar and elevation, but there's some deep thinking behind that, I guess.
Yeah. I think it started with an end goal of empowering our clients and also helping to bring them to a next level of success. So I think with that end goal in mind, we sort of reverse engineer a lot of things and then also look at, okay, so what does that mean? How do we then help everybody in this entire events ecosystem? So, we looked at not only empowering our client-facing team members, but also all the way through to the heads in our operational team, so that at the end of the day, if it's a methodology that we're serious in adopting, then we want a full buy-in in that sense. So, of the 100 people that we train, there are people from sales, people from our client servicing team, and all the way to operations, even marketing, because I think that whole adoption is important. And if we looked at it today, we have impacted the lives of many planners around the globe, and we are super happy that as we grow the footprint, this year, we started EDC in China, and, the interest level has been immense. Even up till today, we are almost like a month from the time we first had that session. We're still receiving very good feedback. And today in the different workshops that we organize, we have sort of created a following. People are now aware of what we do. They're looking forward. They're putting their interest in a wait list so that they can be part of the program the next time we have it. So I guess that's the impact that we're looking at, and putting out a program that truly and genuinely would benefit the client as well as the outcome of what they want to do.
Now, part of the activities that you've undertaken as well, and last Monday we saw the first iteration of that, is the opening of the Event Design Lab, right? There's a physical manifestation, a place where people can go to apply the learning, but also have team members collaborate with the team of the client side, right? To think together with them, to build trust. And now there's a physical space where people can go and have everything, at Marina Bay Sands level of operation, right? In a really interesting place. So as soon as you do have the interest, but you might not necessarily know where to go and design, you can go to Marina Bay Sands and you have a place where you can go. What's the thinking behind that, and how is that? How do you see that working in the future?
Yeah. So it's a bit like when you, how do I put? Okay. So it's a bit like, when we start off something, sometimes we take baby steps, and we work on this progressively. So 3 years down the road, it's always about what's in it long term. We started with workshops that we run at different and unique places. And now with the Event Design Lab, we're very proud to partner with you guys to be Asia's first event design lab. There is a home, there is a physical space, and increasingly what we're doing is the engagement with the client now becomes very different. From having pop-up workshops to now, what we desire in the near future is that this becomes a methodology that we hope every client through the door would be able to adopt and benefit from. There's a physical space, our people are trained, we could put them through that immediately. So if you have an event that you're thinking of holding at the Marina Bay Sands, or it could even be any event that you want to hold, there is a place, there is a methodology, and we have facilitators that can help you through that. Yeah. So a lot of it is not just about, an immediate conversion of an event, but really it's about investing in the time and investing in the industry and investing in the methodology that we think would be very successful and something that we hope industry at large will adopt.
Yeah. So actually, is this an open invitation to clients who say okay, I want to do my event at Marina Bay Sands. What is it you provide to clients when it comes to event design? Yeah.
So I think at the very start, what we provide is we have got qualified, certified facilitators that could help them almost immediately when they have an event that they're thinking of organizing. Our team members who are certified would be able to immediately put you through. If you have time that you can invest in us, be very happy to run you through the whole methodology together.
And is it so that is I think one of the let me put it different. What would be the outcome of those conversations and leading clients to the methodology from your perspective?
Yeah, I think at the end, number one, we begin with the client in mind, and if the client have that same mantra, then they will look at their event with their clients in mind and their stakeholders in mind. So, we almost follow through the entire chain. And then for us as a venue, what we then look at is very seriously looking at the different stakeholders that our clients have and what is it that they want to help them with. And then what we want to do is to take all those feedback very seriously and look at how we can support this in a better way, in a more innovative way, and in a more forward-thinking way.
I like that. And what I remember some time back, Weemin, I think you mentioned, is that if we want to do better business, if we want to better serve the value that the clients are creating, we need to understand the business of the client. And the client needs to understand how we create value as a mechanism, as an extension of their teams and their willingness to invest in bringing an event to Marina Bay Sands. By understanding their business, you can add more value. One of the things that I wanted to ask there is, this is for existing clients, for future clients, but there's also a very interesting move where you are helping the next generation of potential, human capital that's coming into the events industry. And I know, Jen, this is one of your big, projects that, with, for instance, Singapore Institute of Technology, you have given an opportunity to a whole cohort of students to become part of the EDC Young Professionals Program, a program that's now running in 35 universities. But you've taken that to the next level too. You don't just offer the program and that's it, but you offer almost an end-to-end experience for the students. And we had some students last Monday, actually, also from another Polytechnic university, I believe, that were supporting the program. And the interest and the attention that you're giving to the next generation of people that are coming into this industry is a very big thing for the team at Marina Bay Sands. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Okay, so the next generation workforce is something that we are super passionate about, because I think that is the way forward. We are always and constantly looking at way to impress the next gen and also to woo them into our industry. So the event design framework has been something that we have So the event design methodology has been something that we want to impart to them almost at the very onstart of their career or even their education. It's almost like, our hope to inject almost like that to be part of their DNA from the start. So, initiatives has been, like you've just shared, last year we did the is it called the introductory program?
It's basically the Event Design Certificate Level 1 program, but
Yes.
aimed at young professionals,
Yes.
right? So the EDC YP program.
Yeah, so we have that YP program, which was excellent because it's super targeted. It speaks to them at their language and their level.
Yeah.
And then not only that, I think with what we are doing for the industry, we have seen that not only clients are adopting it, even for the next generation, quite a number of youth challengers that I've come across that are mentor groups are actually saying that the event design should be one of the key criteria in terms of how you propose winning proposals for clients, for concepts, and even for winning bids.
Yeah.
So that's great because, it's almost like McDonald's, right? You start them from young. So we are really happy about that. And then even when there are projects that we put our students through, this is one very important step that we say, you need to adopt this, show us the difference, show us the canvas, and show us how you're doing it.
Yeah, and I think what I'm always impressed by, and that is in every geography we operate, when we talk about EDC YP, implementing that in the curriculum of different universities now, plus 35 plus universities. What I always am amazed by, two things: the speed in which they pick it up, and the speed and the way they perceive this, and also if you benchmark that against the learning journey of a seasoned event professional, their learning journey is much shorter and they pick it up much faster because this sounds logic to them. They say like, yeah, how did people do that in the past? Is this new? What, right? So, and I think,
How did they do it before?
yeah, that is super interesting to see and see the response of the students. What I also like is that you also put your own certified event designers in front of those students, showcasing that this is how you do business. So we were very fortunate, I think, to be part of that SIT program, but also maybe in the future some other programs where we actually help, because that is also our mission. So I think that's something we can work on together a lot more, because that is what is helping us as well to develop that language. Now, to that university approach, does it also bring back new talents, which are then your future employees?
Recruits, yeah.
We definitely hope so. But the first end goal that we wanted to do is to arm the industry from the very onset, through the students before they enter industry, with a methodology, a very clear concept that good events don't happen by chance. They have to be designed. So we arm them from young, before they enter industry, with this methodology, and let that methodology be the language that they speak. And every single event thereafter has a solution by itself. So that was the end goal. And of course, we also hope that the young talent will be impressed by how we approach events and the industry and the future of our industry collectively as one, and opt to join us as a company and make a career. Yeah. And join us in a mission to make good events through good event design. One event, one design, one journey, one at a time.
And or it might be your clients, right? So that maybe would even be better, right? Yeah.
Actually, since it makes me think, since we started the So the EDC program is what now, 9-10 years old, I think, the level 3 program. So a little over a decade. EDC YP programs maybe from 7-8 years old.
A little bit later, yeah.
A little bit later. We've now seen the first students that come out of that program applying it in their corporate event management jobs and wowing their teams as young recruits to be the first to introduce something that implements systematic thinking, right? Putting method to the madness of events. Looking at that just through the lens of last Monday, right? So last Monday, Marina Bay Sands does a whole series of events as your own productions, right? In order to sustain the ecosystem. Now, for those of you who have never been to Marina Bay Sands, could you give us a quick overview of where are you guys at today, right, with the capacity, and just give people that have never been, maybe can you sketch what it is today and maybe what it's going to look like 5 years from today, because there are some big changes ahead too, right?
Well, we are the home of more than 2,500 events annually. Each event represents most of the events represent the key iconic events of the respective industry that they serve. We are and we bring together more than 1.4 million unique business event delegates to Singapore and to Marina Bay Sands every single year.
1.4 million.
1.4 million.
Wow.
And if you look at that, it's a powerful change agent. Because you have 1.4 million change agents, which are event attendees, attending events in due course to be created in one singular powerful language, event design, leading to great events and leading to outstanding outcomes. So that is the aim. And in terms of space, we have announced the groundbreaking of the new development IR2, Integrated Resort 2, of Marina Bay Sands, that will include an extension of more luxury and premium business event spaces, as well as a 15,000-seater arena to the overall repertoire of unique venues that we offer as one single event destination.
So that's a massive expansion of the existing already very large convention center, over 5 floors, I believe it is. And how many square meters are we talking about in total?
The existing facility is about 120,000 square meters, and the new facility is going to add much more to that. But it's not about square meters.
No.
It's about the language that the team speaks as one.
Yeah.
And going back to where we first started this journey together with the team, and we said, let this be the language that we all speak. And that's why not only salespeople, not only events managers go through that. Key operational department heads and deputies in departments like chefs, culinary departments, banquet operations, logistics, audiovisual, they go through that as well, because we said at the very onset, the exit behavior we want from the team is that this will be one singular language. And then we work towards that by putting as many people as we can through that. And we are proud to say, Ruud, can you tell us, I think we are the singular venue with the biggest and largest collection of certified event designers in the world.
Yes.
By far. Yeah, I think some have attempted to come close to you, but they're trailing by far. I think your conviction of taking what you've seen and transforming it into a value creation mechanism for the way your team can confidently speak to the client and help them design the outcomes of their events, creating a common language, not just for a couple of salespeople, but for the full team. And we notice when we go back, like last Monday, we're doing our training and we go into your client showcase where all of your team members that we've trained, they've all become friends. These are all people that are, across all the different departments. And I'm always so impressed by the synchronicity of all the different moving parts, because we know an event at the scale that you operate at have a lot of moving parts. And it's like I would call your event or your events team, and actually the team at Marina Bay Sands is like, if you would talk of it in terms of watches, it's like a double tourbillon. It is like a highly complicated system, but you make look time really simple, but very exact, right? And I think the value of that precision of operation, the reliability, of execution, the level at which you operate therein, is a reflection of that. It doesn't come just because of the language that we introduced 2-3 years ago. There was a very strong ecosystem and culture in your company to deliver at a very high level of excellence. I think this delivers a razor's edge for your full team to bring the value that you've already created over the last 15 years with Marina Bay Sands. And last Monday we were talking to a client of yours who, funnily enough, they said, Marina Bay Sands, they have the biggest capacity, they have the biggest reputation. It's quite natural for them to be the leading venue. But there's one thing that's very different about Marina Bay Sands, is that they keep being extremely curious and they keep expanding their knowledge set, their skill set. They want to know what's next in order to not become complacent, which is very easy to do when you're the best and when you're at the top of your game. It's very easy to become complacent. But at that level, you take it to the next notches beyond the peaks that you've already climbed. You're aiming at the next thing that you don't necessarily know exactly what it's going to look like, but you're equipping your team with all the skill set to be able to deal with that. And I think the mentality of you responding to the fact how many square meters and you saying it's not about square meters, I think that says a lot about the culture, right? It's about what you do with the square meters and the time that you have available in the space that you create. And the spaces that you create with your events are quite unique, and I think your clients realize that. And the ones we talked to just today here in Melbourne, the ones that are coming back, come back for a reason, not because it is just good and they can be complacent with it, but because they're curious of what you're going to do next with them, right?
Yeah, because ultimately all venues, regardless of convention centers or hotels or unique venues, they are just white boxes.
Yeah.
They're just square white boxes, some circular in nature. And it is the events that we host that fill it with life.
Yeah.
So if the events are well designed through a singular language and methodology, it makes it so much more simpler to replicate and scale that excellence.
Yeah.
Hence, it is as you rightly say, it's not only a language, it should be a culture.
Yeah.
And we are very, very happy and very, very excited to be able to bring this culture, bring this language to the various key markets that we operate in. Melbourne being the latest city that we are in, and to share this methodology, this language of great event design with this very simple philosophy, designing an event with the outcome of your stakeholders in mind, first and foremost, and work backwards. And today's response from the various delegates that come through to this course today bears testament to that.
Yeah. So I think on that bombshell, we are again super excited to have met you and not left. I'm glad that Roel and Genevieve had that initial conversation. And I know, Roel, you were visiting Singapore a couple of months later, I think.
I think that is the story. So
yeah.
we actually after Frankfurt we made I was very like, okay, you want a proposal for this, for that, right? So it was a whole list of things, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting client, right?
So good conversations do start by chance, leading to great outcomes.
Exactly.
If we have planned.
Yeah. And then I made and then at some point it was quiet after those proposals. I was like, oh.
Yeah. And that happens more often, by the way, right? We had a lot of people that are very enthusiastic at first.
And it's okay.
And sometimes they go quiet.
So I said, okay, I'm not going to give up, right? So we already were planning a family trip to Malaysia 3 weeks. So we did a round trip. And then I said, like, but I'm flying out of Singapore. So I called Genevieve and I said, like, okay, I'm there that day. We need to meet, and then we met, right? So sometimes you need also that physical meeting to make the next step and to do that. And I think that was sometimes there's no, it's not serendipitous, or it is serendipitous.
Well, you didn't leave that conversation
maybe
to chance then,
right? Yeah. And then this leads to one thing leads to another, and I think all the partnerships we have, you take it really to the next level, right? So you don't only you actually execute on your plan, and you show. I really like the analogy of rising the tide and lifting all boats. I think that is where it comes down to. That's our mission as well, because ultimately, if you have a language and you don't have conversations with that language, the language is dead, like Latin or ancient Greek. And I think that is what we very much value in our partnership, that you make the boat go faster, right? Our boat of that mission, you make it go faster. And that is ultimately where we're very happy with. And of course, we have a good agreement and good partnership in place, but the feeling that we are doing things together is very meaningful to us.
Absolutely. I think there's no way you can build a language or have endorsement of a methodology unless it's being applied, right? So the fact that students are using it, the fact that a very active team is using it at MBS, and what I really appreciate is the long-term perspective. When I look at the team members that you employ at Marina Bay Sands, like yourselves, you've been with this property for a long time. There's a long commitment that people have towards the brand Marina Bay Sands. And that stands for a lot, right? The relationship and the knowledge, simply. The knowledge accrual over time, the knowledge you get of different events, of recurring events, but then being curious of new things to be applied to that as well, to stay current and to stay curious, I think is a true testament to the culture of Marina Bay Sands. And it's something that we really appreciate, because this is not a last trend or fad that you need to know about and just, get the certification under your belt and move on just to put CED credentials on your business card. Some people do that too, and that might be helpful for them. And I don't judge it, but it's in the application that you get the value. And I think you guys are probably, like you said, you are the pinnacle organization that in a very short amount of time, which is a testament to Singapore as well. On the 60th anniversary of the country, on the 3rd anniversary of our relationship, you've achieved more in 3 years than others have done over a much longer amount of time. And as a single property, having that capacity puts you miles ahead of the competition. And I commend you for that, and we're very happy to be a partner in that.
Well, they say if you want to go fast, you go alone.
Yeah.
You can go far, you go as a team, and all teams start with great partnerships, and we are very happy to be able to partner with you to bring this language to all the key cities that we operate in.
Yeah. Well, we're very grateful. We want to thank you, Genevieve Lim and Weemin Ong. Also, just take a little bit of time whilst we're here in Melbourne. I know tonight we're going to have a nice dinner together, as we've done previously in other places. Quality time amongst each other is also very important when building relationships, because conversations without microphones are even better.
Definitely.
Right? To the listeners, thank you for hanging out with us in Melbourne today. If you're inspired by this and you want to know more about Marina Bay Sands, we're going to include the details of Genevieve and Weemin in our liner notes. We'll also include maybe some images and things of the Event Design Lab and elements that we've been working on over the past years. Look at some of the videos of the client trainings and different destinations to get a sense of that. And if you're a destination thinking, Marina Bay Sands should come here and host one of these trainings, maybe reach out to them and see what happens. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been hanging out backstage on Design to Change Designer Conversations. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe and share conversations online using hashtag Design to Change and hashtag Event Canvas. Want more thought-provoking content like this? Visit designtochange.online to purchase your copy of Design to Change, elevating your abilities to look and act beyond the now. Don't forget, it's more than just a book. Experience a hard copy, audio format, video format, and even augmented reality. Experience it in your style and format. Tune into our next episodes and hear from more designers and change makers. Until then, we look forward to our next conversation.